Imagine standing on an ordinary street. Everything looks calm and normal. But Earth is secretly moving beneath you. Then, for 5 seconds, it stops. The ground stops under your feet. Think of a train moving smoothly. When it brakes suddenly, everything moves forward. That is the danger of inertia. The air, oceans, and objects may continue moving. This is not a normal disaster. At the equator, Earth moves extremely fast. Faster than many passenger airplanes. We do not feel it because everything moves together. But if the ground stops, harmony breaks. A whole planet has hit the brakes. What happens in those 5 seconds? Earth is never truly still. It spins around its own axis. That spin creates day and night. It shapes how humans live. Plants, animals, and sleep follow this rhythm. Earth's rotation is like a natural clock. The equator moves faster than other regions. Near the poles, motion is much slower. So the impact would not be equal everywhere. Gravity keeps us attached to Earth. The atmosphere also rotates with the planet. The oceans move with Earth as well. Cities are built for this stable motion. But if that motion suddenly breaks, the ground is no longer a safe platform. And inertia becomes the first force to speak. In the first second, inertia takes control. Moving objects want to keep moving. The equator would feel this most strongly. Near the poles, the effect would be weaker. So Earth would not suffer equally everywhere. Equatorial cities would face the worst shock. Loose objects would continue forward suddenly. Buildings were never built for planetary braking. This is the basic rule of inertia. The ground stops, but motion continues. A stable system becomes out of sync. Latitude would decide how violent it feels. The fastest regions face the greatest danger. Nature and cities are not designed for this. It is like braking inside a moving train. Except now, the train is Earth itself. 1 second leaves almost no reaction time. There would be no useful warning. Only physics would decide what happens next. And then the atmosphere begins to move. The atmosphere would not stop instantly. Air still carries Earth's old motion. To the ground, it becomes giant wind. This is not ordinary weather. Buildings would face impossible pressure. Forests would bend under the moving air. Dust could rise across dry regions. Ocean surfaces would be pushed violently. Clouds would stretch across the sky. From space, the atmosphere would look disturbed. Aircraft would face chaotic air movement. Satellites would watch the planet change. Meteorologists would see broken patterns. Dust and spray would fill the air. Coastlines would feel wind and water together. The ground and air are now out of sync. Pressure systems would become distorted. Cities could disappear under dust and mist. The atmosphere would struggle to rebalance. Then the oceans would answer next. The oceans would not stop with the ground. Water is heavy, vast, and already moving. When Earth stops, oceans keep their momentum. Coasts near the equator face stronger danger. Low islands and plains become highly vulnerable. Harbors would see water behave unnaturally. Oceans would collide with continents. Then water would rebound in new directions. Deltas and wetlands would be overwhelmed first. Deep currents would twist out of rhythm. Global circulation would become disturbed. Marine life would feel sudden current changes. Coastal cities would face enormous pressure. Wind would push the ocean even harder. Land, air, and water are now separated. 5 seconds is short, but planetary motion is huge. Then Earth begins to rotate again. That creates a second ocean shock. The water system must synchronize twice. And 5 seconds becomes enough to change history. After 5 seconds, Earth begins spinning again. But restarting creates another sudden shock. The atmosphere must match the ground again. The oceans must adjust to motion again. Coasts would face water moving twice. Cities would feel the second acceleration. Satellites would observe a disturbed planet. Communication systems could become unstable. Navigation would become difficult for ships and aircraft. Scientists would race to understand the event. Weather patterns could remain chaotic afterward. Transport systems would need emergency recalculation. Ground, ocean, and air must synchronize again. The danger comes from stopping and restarting. People might see sunrise the next day. From space, Earth might still look beautiful. But the system would not be unchanged. Slowly, the planet would seek balance. 2 shocks in 5 seconds is enough. Then we must ask about day and night. Day and night would not vanish forever. The sun would still rise again. Earth's rotation would restore the cycle. Life would try to follow its rhythm. The 24-hour pattern might continue. But humans would see it differently. A longer stop would be far worse. One side could face endless daylight. That side would begin heating dangerously. The dark side would become colder. Global winds would shift between extremes. Oceans would slowly reorganize too. But 5 seconds creates a different danger. The danger is sudden acceleration. A short stop can still leave deep scars. Stable rotation is a fragile rhythm. Life depends on that rhythm quietly. Civilization is built around it. Earth is a clock we stand upon. And after 5 seconds, trust would change. Afterward, civilization would enter a new era. Scientists would ask the impossible question: why did Earth stop spinning at all? Governments would coordinate emergency responses. Coastlines would become urgent research zones. Transport systems would need major recovery. Satellites and networks would reconnect slowly. Engineers would restore power and communication. Coastal cities would rethink every risk. New designs would prepare for rare extremes. Weather science would change forever. Entire industries would rewrite their assumptions. People would no longer trust the ground blindly. Earth would feel like a living machine. One stopped gear disturbed everything else. Families would see the planet differently. Children would learn what rotation truly means. Future cities would monitor Earth more carefully. Humanity would survive, but feel smaller. Then comes the darker version of this question. If Earth stopped forever, the story changes. Day and night would no longer cycle. One side would face endless sunlight. The other would face endless darkness. Temperature differences would become extreme. Global winds would form new patterns. Oceans would slowly reorganize around them. Plants would struggle in constant daylight. The dark side would become difficult to survive. Humans might gather near the twilight zone. Cities could form along this narrow boundary. Food would depend on controlled farming. Water systems would become survival infrastructure. Energy would come from harsh new conditions. Animals would migrate towards safer regions. Old cities could become unusable. Life would follow a thinner habitable band. Scientists would call it a different Earth. 5 seconds is danger, forever is transformation. But our real Earth still rotates. Earth's rotation is more than motion. It is the rhythm behind our world. Humans live by that rhythm every day. Nature also follows its hidden clock. Rotation connects climate, oceans, air, and life. Stop one part, and everything trembles. We stand on a moving planet. Its stability makes life feel normal. But normal does not mean guaranteed. Earth's balance is fragile and extraordinary. Every sunrise is part of that balance. And thankfully, Earth is still spinning.